Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. This is another entry into my photo stories series here on this channel. It's basically where I go through and talk more about the photos I take. Typically these are in situations where I'm out in the field, of course, and it seems like a typical behind the scenes video isn't able to be done or wasn't possible, but I'd still like to share a little bit more behind the way I take the images and provide a little bit more, I guess, details and stuff. Verbally speaking, versus doing like a traditional caption or something posting online. And so this next entry here is a recent photograph, or a couple of photos that is, of a local waterfall in Miami County, Ohio. It is located at the Farrington Reserve that is maintained by the Miami County Parks District. And it's a really cool waterfall. This is my first visit to see it. I was going for an early morning sunrise shoot just before the light got too sunny and harsh for the day, as what was projected in the forecast for that day. And this particular morning it's kind of interesting because I had a general idea of where this was at the location, because it is a pretty small location, but it was tough to get to because there was some construction going on at the direct right turn onto the road where this reserve would be at. And so I basically had to go this very long way around, and it took about another 10 minutes or so to get to this location. And then by the time I finally got there and everything, the light was still, it was after sunrise, of course, but it was not risen up high enough over the tree line. And this little waterfall is pretty cool because it was really tucked away and really mostly in shadow, so that made it really kind of a better opportunity, I guess, to get much more of what would look like an overcast light with it being in shadow here. And so this is a really cool waterfall to experience and see up close. It was basically along a bike trail that would meander through this nature reserve here, and I basically crossed the parking lot and this construction site just to get to it. I was the first one there for the day at this particular parking area, and just kind of walked up to the waterfall, pretty much just listening directly for the sound of it, because it was right as I got on my car, very apparent where it was located at, and not too far off that is. So I brought my whole camera bag and all my tripod, my different lenses if I wanted to experiment. I ultimately went with a 16-35 f4, that is a wide angle zoom lens. Took that and added a circular polarizer filter to it because there was a lot of glistening reflections and stuff that I wanted to kind of dull down or knock out completely from the images. And I didn't see a need to do a neutral density filter with these, simply because it had a nice enough flow, and it was already pretty dark enough scene that I wasn't risking, of course, overblowing the highlights or anything like that. But as you can see from the images behind me here, this is probably my favorite one. Just a simple straight-on composition, very forward, and just has the waterfall presented centrally in the frame, and it's pretty much bright white without being too blown out, fortunately. But there's still some nice kind of summer green foliage and leaves on the upper half of the frame there, and then just basically the water below it. So it was pretty cool because this particular waterfall, with it being right next to a bike trail, I could just hop off and then just kind of jump around at some rocks and everything to get to right in the middle of the waterfall itself. And getting this really up close perspective really, I feel pulls you in as the viewer to really feel like you're in the scene and really looking at something up close and personal, versus if I just took it from the roadside or the bike path, where it'd be much more distant and far away, and it wouldn't feel like the real prominent subject in the frame. And so, yeah, it was really cool to get that image there. Very nice light for that. I had plenty of time actually to work with the scene here and get some different angles. I even started doing some stuff with some vertical compositions, and trying to experiment a little bit with a foreground element. I couldn't really find too much, fortunately, to make that kind of particular scenario work, but I did find some kind of fallen leaves on some of the rocks that I was hopping along, and tried to line them up with the waterfall in the background. These kind of felt a little too distant for me. I didn't really feel like it detracted, I guess you could say, more from the waterfall. I kind of brought more attention to the rock and the leaf, which I guess is the point, but I felt like I was adding too much unnecessary visual clutter with the photos here. But really cool waterfall, very cool. It's really easy to get to, besides the minor detour I had to take to drive around, which will probably, of course, open up back soon. It was just a really nice day out to be taking long exposure photographs. Summer waterfalls are great just because of how much they're flowing from spring rain, typically, and then also just with the nice green foliage around and the green leaves on the trees and the shrubs and stuff around them. So yeah, really cool waterfall. It was nice to get this one, and really couldn't have worked out better, I think. So typically a slower shutter speed of about a second and a half or so, and doing about I think 11 or so, and then varying my ISO, typically about ISO 100 or 200, just because of that slower shutter speed. That means you don't really need to let in much light and have a higher ISO number. So yeah, worked out pretty well, I think. So I think with that being said, guys, this is the end of the video here, but I'm going to share a little bit of the images I took and captured, and I hope you've enjoyed this little story here, and I look forward to making more of these videos in the future, and I hope you are too. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.